Okay, quick fix to Japan. I forgot to give them 5 IPCs for one of their national objectives. They do currently hold all of the money islands, so that's an extra 5 IPCs. So instead of ending the turn with 71, they'll end the turn with 76 IPCs. Okay, the Americans have 72 IPCs to spend. They're going to spend 16 on a new carrier, 12 on 4 infantry, and that's for the Pacific side. And then on the Atlantic side, they're going to buy a new carrier with a fighter and 2 destroyers. The Americans only have 1 attack to make, and it's on the Chinese mainland. They're going to be attacking Johor with 2 infantry from Manchuria, the strategic bomber and the tactical bomber. So that's it. There is no other combat for the Americans. So we'll set this one up and then get to non-combat. Sorry, we forgot to say what the Chinese were doing. They have 8 IPCs to spend. They're going to spend 7 on an infantry and a cavalry and save an IPC for next time. And they will be attacking in Shenxi with an infantry and a fighter. Okay, let's get to the attacks. Okay, the attack on Johor. The Americans are coming in with 2 infantry, 1 strategic bomber and 1 tactical bomber. 2 hits, they only needed 1, so territory taken. And Japan does not inflict any casualties on the Americans. Okay, for the attack on Shenxi, the Chinese are coming in with an infantry and the American Flying Tiger fighter squadron. Miss. 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 Uh-oh. Miss. 2 hits. Miss. Okay, so the Chinese do take the territory back. Okay, non-combat, the Americans are loading 1 mechanized infantry onto one of these 2 transports, and the 2 transports are going to go join the rest of the fleet down in Sea Zone 86. There is also another thing in the Atlantic, but it involves something from the Pacific. The fighter from western United States is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and land on the carrier. Okay, in terms of other American movements, all of the transports are going to go to Sea Zone 10, and all of the fighters are going to land in Alaska. In terms of what's happening over here, the 2 planes that participated in the Johor attack will land in Manchuria. Actually, no, they'll land in Korea. No, they'll land in Manchuria. They're better to land in Manchuria. Okay, non-combat for the Chinese. They are going to move their cavalry to Shanghai, and the fighter will also land in Shanghai. Alright, unit placements. The carrier with a fighter on it and 2 destroyers will be placed in Sea Zone 101. The new carrier will be placed in Sea Zone, whatever this is, Sea Zone 10, and 1 infantry will be placed in the western United States. In Alaska, we will place the other 3 infantry, because we do have a factory there. And then China will place an infantry in Sichuan and a cavalry in Shanghai. Okay. Income adjustments. The Chinese have to go up 2 at the expense of the Japanese. So if we change the income tracker, Japan goes from 61 to 59, China goes from 6 to 8. So China has a base income of 8. They kept $1 from last turn, so they're going to put 9 IPCs in their coffers. The Americans started at 52. They have 3 national objectives. The build at least 2 on either coast is 10. All the islands is 5, and all of the Central American stuff is 5. So they're going to put, once again, 72 IPCs away for next turn. Okay. Disposition of forces. Americans. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to change a move. Instead of moving these guys down here, I'm going to move them down and land them in British Guiana. And I'm going to move the forces from Brazil up to British Guiana. Actually, I'm going to leave 2 there. I'm going to put 2 there, and I'm going to bring 2 Americans along. There's room on the thing for them, okay? And instead of landing here, all of my fleet is going to be here, okay? That is, all of that's legal. I just changed my mind, okay? So the 2, instead of just bringing 2 boats down with one thing, I'm bringing 2 boats down with 2 infantry and a mech. And the tank is going to go from Brazil to British Guiana, and there will be 2 infantry left in Brazil. And these guys are in this sea zone now because it's closer to sea zone 101. So the Germans can pick their poison there if they want to attack one of those areas. Okay, so anyway, disposition of forces. In Washington, 2 infantry, 2 mechs, 2 AAs. In 101, 2 destroyers, 1 cruiser, or sorry, 1 carrier and 1 fighter. In Sea Zone 88, a carrier fully loaded with 2 fighters, 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers, and 2 transports. In British Guiana, 2 infantry, 1 mech, and 1 tank. In Brazil, 2 infantry. Moving over into the Pacific, in Johor, 2 infantry. In Manchuria, 1 strat bomber, 1 tac bomber, 3 artillery, 1 mech, 1 tank, 1 infantry. In Alaska, looks like 6 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, and 7 fighters. In the western United States, 1 infantry. In Sea Zone 10, 7 transports and 2 empty carriers. In terms of the Chinese, they have 1 infantry in Sichuan, 1 infantry in Shenxi, 1 infantry in Kansu, 2 cavalry in Shanghai, and the Flying Tiger fighter squadron in Shanghai. So that's the end of the U.S. and China turn. UK is up next.